Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Bringing you guys the Roanoke Regionals VOD review. We're actually here in round 5 because the first 4 rounds were either stall decks versus an auto win or not close. So we're here in round 5 with Dalton playing Malamar versus Noel playing Lost March. Looks like we have Noel going first. I see his hand pretty clearly here. So Noel doesn't need a whole ton of cards in the discard pile this early on. Not a huge fan of the grass this card. I almost would have liked to have seen it go to the active. I couldn't quite catch the rest of his hand. It looks like he is running the Ditto Machoke line. I think I saw that. Looks like his hand's dead. He's going for a Let Loose Marshadow. Okay, makes sense. Not a huge fan of discarding the grass energy though when you have a Let Loose Marshadow stuck in your active. I'm gonna take a look at the rest of his hand and a DCE to there. Yeah, so I don't like the grass discard there from Noel. I would have much rather seen him discard the we have a Lost Blender, a Guzma. I think I would have rather seen him discard the Lost Blender. Because like you just want to be able to retreat this Marshadow next turn and then attack with the Natu on the Inkay. So yeah, not a huge fan of the grass energy discard there. The Guzma is also an out. You can Guzma knock something out with Natu, but it's way less likely to happen. Might need to play a draw supporter on your next turn, something like that. And we see the rest of Noel's hand is not good. Not very good at all. I think it was a Skiploom and another Trumbeak. So his hand is not going anywhere anytime soon. Dalton with the Mysterious Treasure, and I think the rest of his hand is a Stadium, Altar of the Moon, and a Copycat. Really not a big fan of Copycat at all. This is one of the reasons why. Think you would definitely want to go for a Lele here. But we haven't seen it yet. I think maybe his Lele is prized. Yep, he's going to settle for an Inkay, and that means he's going to be Copycatting for 2, I think. Yep, Stadium comes out, and then Copycat for 2. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm personally not a big fan of Copycat. Situations like this. Also, like, people's hand sizes really don't get that big. I guess if you're trying to beat an unknown hand deck, you know you're going to draw a lot of cards against that, but that's about it, right? Yeah. All right. You see Lunala, bench, pass, Noel top decks an Ultra Ball. So I might be able to get him out of the situation. We'll have to see. I don't know what kind of draw power his deck plays. At least I would assume at least he plays an Oranguru. There's the Oranguru. Looking through the rest of the deck. Once again, not a big fan of him discarding the grass energy off the Lost Blender, because right now all he if he gets a grass energy here and like a Skiploom, he's good to go and can at least like start punching these Inkays with the Natu, which is more than enough. So we'll see Instruct for 3 here for Noel. DCE, Ultra Ball, Natu. Not good. Yeah, I'm just gonna see a pass from him. I like the pass here from Noel. And we see a follow-up of draw pass from Dalton. So yeah, we're gonna see the DC active from Noel, and then probably Ultra Ball for Skiploom. There's not really anything else he can do. Oh, he's got a Lily for 4. Okay, it's a little bit better. I would have liked. No, you don't want to bench the thing. What's it called? All right, there's the Ultra Ball coming out. Gets rid of the Jumpluff and the Macargo. As long as he has the other 3 Jumpluff in the deck, I guess I'm fine with this. I don't know for sure. There goes Skiploom. Gets another Jumpluff. Out. And he's got 2 Cynthias. He's held on to the other Cynthia over to, so he basically chose to not discard a Cynthia there, which is ideal. I think if you have the other 2 Jumpluffs in the deck, I'm fine with this. Benches the Natu, Instruct for 1. I don't actually like that Natu bench from Noel. I think he could have held it there, and you don't need that. That Instruct for 1 is so weak, because the only thing you'd really be looking for at this point is more Hoppips, and if you bench the Natu, you can't even bench the Hoppip. So I would have liked to have seen him just hold the Natu, especially because if Dalton doesn't draw anything next turn, this Natu can like take this knockout, then maybe take another knockout. But next turn you would definitely want to look for a Hoppip on Noel's turn. So I don't like this Natu bench. See, there we go. There's a Trumbeak, and that's okay. I guess Trumbeak's pretty good in the situation where your opponent's dead drawing. So being able to check their top deck, see if they have a supporter there, and then just get rid of it is pretty nice. But I don't like the Natu bench either way, even though he does get this Trumbeak and is able to utilize it. Oh, and he gets a Cynthia off the top. It's pretty funny. There's a retreat and knockout with the Natu. And we'll see if there's another one waiting there. Nope. And then that is into the dead draw from Dalton. And he's just going to scoop Scoop it up there. Pretty reasonable scoop there. And move on to the game 2. So I assume this matchup is definitely probably favored for Noel. I don't know what Dalton's list looks like for sure. I know he is playing the Ultra Necrozma Malamar. So here's the turn 1 from Dalton. Ultra Necrozma, energy on the active. 2 Inkay and a Lunala. Going into Noel's turn, we see Trumbeak, Great Ball for either Slugma or the Natu, and then he plays Cynthia for 6. So not the Lily, and unfortunately no Hop Hips down yet. So we're looking for some Hop Hips here from Noel. Ideally 3. We want to see 3 Hop Hips ideally. Any Hop Hips would be great. I see potentially 2. Ultra Ball, get rid of Skip Bloom and Ultra Ball to get a Hop Hip for sure. Then he has a Nest Ball probably for another, or the Net Ball probably for another Hop Hip. This is his first deck search, so he doesn't know really about discarding whether he should be discarding the what's it called or not, the Skip Bloom. So, but it looks like it was the best discard of his hand. I think the rest of his hand is what? I think I saw Cynthia and then something else. I'm not sure what the other thing was. There we go. 2 Hop Hips. Ideally want to see 3, but Stretcher and hoping Cynthia, but it looks like it might be a Guzma. So the Stretcher will get him back the Skip Bloom, which is nice. Malamar, Alter from Dalton. So way better turn 2 here from Dalton. All he really wants to see here is a Psychic Energy. That's all you really need here from Dalton. You just want to be taking a prize card every turn from here on out. So at the very least this turn, he wants to see that Psychic Energy. Anything else on top of that is just kind of nice. Or I guess even a Metal Energy would work, because you could discard the Beast Energy, I think. Unless it's just Basic Energy. I'm actually not sure how Ultra Necrozma's attack works. So no Psychic Energy, or any energy here from Dalton. So if he plays the Oricorio, which I'm not sure if he does or not, he would be able to utilize that. He can also just retreat his Ultra Necrozma here, which I wouldn't hate to see. And just retreat to the Lunala. Yep, there's the retreat right there. I like that. You don't want your Ultra Necrozma to get hit. Alright, so yeah, it was a Cynthia here from Noel. Guess this Skip Bloom should see that pop immediately. Get the Jump Bluff. So we should see a decent turn 2 here from Noel. I don't think he's going to one-shot this Lunala Prism. Who knows if he'll even try and hit into it. Definitely don't want to hit into it if you're not one-shotting it, I almost feel like. It's not worth, it's just a 1 prize attacker. You might just want to wait to get the full value out of your energy. Especially because whatever you put energy on and hit into it with it will probably just get knocked out next turn. Probably, maybe not. I mean, Dalton had a really slow turn 2, so you never know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a Grass Energy, a DCE. He got the DCE, so he could swing if he wants to. We also see Stretcher, Ultra Ball, Great Ball, 2 DCE. Okay, so we should see the Great Ball first. With a hand with this much energy, you probably want to start moving him out of the hand, though. So, probably want to see him go for the, what's it called, actually, here. I like the Skip Bloom grab. Pops it. He does have Ultra Ball to get Oranguru or Let Loose, but I don't think he has to get it this turn. I think he can just get the Jump Bluff down. And just attack with the Natsu, and then wait to see his top deck as another option to discard a card, because your hand is all energy right now. You don't really want to... There's no way you're one-shotting this thing this turn. So yeah, I like to see just attack for 100. That's fine. Just commit to the 2-shot at this point with how much energy you have in your hand. I think he's probably thinking about Ultra Balling away to look for Oranguru or Let Loose. But I don't think it's necessary here. I think you should just like play a little bit slower. And kind of just wait for another option to discard something. Maybe he just top 6 a Cynthia and that's kind of like ideal, or like a Lily. But don't like... The big thing is would be discarding an energy off the Ultra Ball, which is just unnecessary to do this turn. So we see Dalton does play the Giratina. There we go. I was going to say, why aren't you discarding the Giratina? There we go. The Giratina gets discarded. Giratina gets discarded, and we see him get another Inkay. Sounds good to me. And then Cynthia for 6. And we'll be able to get the Giratina out of the discard pile later. So he does have infinite single prize attackers with the Giratina. I should have assumed he just played a Giratina. So he's going to be able to utilize that. He doesn't really have a way to catch up in the prize race ever, I don't think, in his deck. Don't think he has a ton of Psychic in the discard pile there. So even getting the Tina out here doesn't feel great. 1 on each Jump Bluff it looks like he's going with. Those can be KO'd by Malamars now, which is kind of cool. Retreats to the Inkay. Psychic Recharge to the Ultra Necrozma. Switch to the Ultra Necrozma. And then it looks like he's going to be able to take a knockout here with the Ultra Necrozma. So that's nice. You know, yeah, I like committing the Choice Band too. You don't need it in this matchup, so you just don't want it in your deck. You know at this point that Noel plays 2 Let Loose March Shadows. Ooh, another energy top deck. That's not great. Not a great draw from Noel. You're trying to like avoid discarding. I think at this point he probably has to commit to get the Arangaroo. Discarding a Grass and a Stretcher. Oh, he's gonna go with the DC. He's gonna keep the Stretcher. Okay, interesting. I'm a little surprised by that. He's gonna commit to Let Loose Marshadow. I mean at this point you could run out of energy as Noel. I'm not a big fan of that. We'll see how that goes. I would have liked to have seen him just discard the Stretcher. Because if you don't have if you don't have the energy to attack with having the Pokemon doesn't mean anything. So he's down 3 energy now. Definitely would have liked to have seen him keep the energy, I think, over the Stretcher. Alright, we see Lily, that's great, and Great Ball. Could Ultra Ball them both away, but I kind of like using both Great Ball. No, I would just Ultra Ball them both away for a Hoppip, actually, because that's all you want to see here is a Hoppip from Noel. There's nothing really else to get. There's the Hoppip. So I think I would have just Ultra Ball them both away. Just make sure you get a Hoppip before using the Lily, and then Lily for your cards. He's thinking about the Arangaroo, but I think you really need to get some extra Pokemon in the Lost Zone. Not a big fan of the Arangaroo grab here from Noel either, because you have the Lily, so you can Lily up to at least +5. Yeah, so I would have just Ultra Balled away with Great Balls for a Hoppip, for sure, I think. And then gone from there. Now he's thinking about getting the Hoppip off this Great Ball. Goes with a Skiploom. Okay, interesting. Is he going to Ultra Ball them both away? See, that's why I would have just Ultra Balled away both Great Balls to begin with. No, benches Arangaroo, keeps the Skiploom. I don't like this at all from Noel. I would have liked to have seen him get the Hoppip for sure. Just Ultra Ball away both Great Balls, get the Hoppip. Because you need the damage. He plays 3 Let Loose Marshadow. Okay. He's Let Loose all the time. See him thinking about committing the Ultra Ball now. Probably to get the Slugma or the Macargo, which I wouldn't hate seeing. So he can hit this for 100, but there's a chance that this gets retreated into a Tina, to the Giratina, and then the Giratina attacks him. Which you kind of, I feel like you want to prepare for and be able to one-shot the Giratina, because right now you're not one-shotting Giratina, and if you don't one-shot this Giratina, you're gonna lose the game, I think, for sure, as Noel. Looks like we're gonna see a Guzma play here from Dalton, though. Doesn't quite have the Psychics in the discard to commit to the Tina. That's fine. Brings up the Arangaroo, and he's going to, doesn't it only do, does it do enough? Yeah, 130. 130, okay, yeah. I like the, like, okay. Yeah, that's alright. I mean, I still think the Arangaroo should have been a Hoppip, like I said, but I guess the Hoppip would have been KO'd in that situation probably anyways from Dalton, potentially preventing his opponent from being able to get enough Lost Marchers in the Lost Zone, or enough Pokemon in the Lost Zone to actually even like one-shot anything. This is okay from Dalton. If his hand was like slow and he didn't think he was gonna be able to get the Psychics to attack with the Tina, which his hand looks very slow actually, then this plays fine here. Although with how much energy is in Noel's deck so far, I would have liked to have seen the active get KO, but I don't think it was really possible on Noel's side. See the Ultra Ball here from Noel. Probably going to get the Macargo. He could smooth over if he wanted. I don't want to see him smooth over here, though, because there's nothing really to smooth over for. You're already KOing this. Definitely just go ahead and play the Lily and then smooth over the turn after. So I'm curious as to what he's going to smooth over for. But I think he should definitely just set up his top deck. And we can actually see here, he's actually running out of energy. This is what I was talking about him being possibly running out of energy with before. So he commits to the Trumbeak on top. Once again, I'm not a big fan of this, because you could just play Lily and then put the Trumbeak on top and top deck it next turn. I guess it's possible you don't top deck it, right? If your opponent does something, but play something. But I think you just commit to that play. And I think he is just actually, I think Noel is just actually just going to run out of energy this game. He's yet to draw a prize. Only 1 grass energy left in deck. I think we're actually just definitely going to see Noel just run out of energy here. See the Trumbeak. He already looked at the top deck and didn't discard it, so I doubt there's any point in looking at it. And then we go Lost March, knockout. Yeah, once again, I don't like the. I would much rather have seen him smooth over his next top deck after he sees what the Lily gets him. See from Dalton, he sends up the Giratina. He's like really unfortunately not been able to get Psychic Energy in his discard pile. That's one of the things with the Ultra Necrozma deck. You do play 2 energy types. And sometimes it can just be hard to get the Psychics in the discard pile, and he has to go Lele for a supporter here, which is also not great. None of this is looking great here for Dalton. he sends up the Giratina here, which I'm kind of curious as to why he does this. Commits energy to Lele immediately. This is a little curious. I don't know what his game plan is this turn. Is he gonna try and knock it out with Lele, I guess? But how are you retreating the active? I don't know how many. He did play a switch earlier. I don't know how many switch cards he plays. Okay, that's a good Acrobike. But I almost would have liked to have seen him commit the energy to the Giratina to be able to retreat that, or just don't even send up the Giratina. Send up Lunala and maybe commit energy to that, or one of the Malamars. Yeah, it's just going to be attach and pass. All right, so Noel's definitely going to be able to potentially get back in this game, or just he already is now back in this game. The only thing that's scary for Noel still is he might run out of energy to attack with. He might just not be able to attack. Don't see him immediately going with the Floral Path to the Skies. So I don't know if he has any Jump Bluff left. All right, there it is. Yep, there's the Jump Bluff. Once again, there's all I can see is one Grass Energy in deck. Maybe there's the Super Boost in there. I'm not sure. There might have been the Super Boost in there as well. There we go. 9, 7, 8. Oh, was it 8 maybe? Maybe he's thinking about making it 9. If he does have the Guzma KO on the Lele here, I would definitely like to see that happen from Noel. There's no reason not to do it now while you can. You know, Dalton could like let loose you or judge you, and you might just not be able to find it when you want to find the KO on the Lele. So I definitely just like to see him be able to, definitely like to see him KO the Lele here. He's going with the Smooth Over. Yeah, just one Grass Energy left. And once again, like, so going back to when he discarded the energy, like, I really felt like that was definitely a mistake on Noel's side. Just because there is the potential that he just runs out of energy, which we're seeing right now. So I think he has to smooth over the energy here. I think he has the Guzma in hand. It looks like there's 9 in the discard. So you just smooth over the energy. There we go. Smoothing over the energy. And then I would definitely KO the Lele because I think there's at least 1 energy prize on Noel's side. Draw 2 prizes. And then you should be good. I don't even hate this, getting the energy and then setting it up on the... There's no reason not to set it up on the Jump Bluff. He's really thinking this hard about this one, though, on what he's going to do. I would just like to see him KO the Lele on this turn. Just get it out of the way. Get the KO on the Lele. I guess you maybe want to save the... Whoa, he's going after the Malamar. I'm not a big fan of committing a Guzma here to the Malamar. Okay, interesting play there from Noel. I'm not... Yeah, like I say, not a huge fan of that one. I don't think that really makes any sense. He still has 2 Malamars in play, and a Stretcher in his hand, actually, right now. You haven't seen a Stretcher from him either, so you know he probably has a Stretcher available. So he should definitely very easily be able to commit to knock out your Jump Bluff here, which we are going to see from Dalton. I guess I maybe wouldn't have hated to see him save the Guzma, but he has a Smooth Over, so we should be able to find another Guzma eventually anyways. And then... just to play around the Dawnwing's GX attack is, I guess, the only thing that's really scary at this point for Noel. So if you have another Guzma in deck, I would have committed... If you have another Guzma in deck, I would have committed that Guzma, KO the Lele, get the 2 prizes so you can get the energy out of the discard pile, hopefully. Or not out of the discard pile, out of the prizes, because I'm assuming there's at least 1 energy prize here from Noel. Or he's just out. Which means there's going to be, like, no way for him to do anything. We see the Trumbeak. Check the top deck. Nothing there. I think he's maybe counting his energy. Really want to see him. So how many Guzmas are left? So there's only 1 Guzma left. So I think that was definitely a mistake on Noel's part with the Guzma knockout of the Malamar. I would have definitely liked to have seen him go Guzma knock out the Lele, dig for that energy that's in the prizes. Once again, I'm pretty confident there's at least 1 energy prize. And then you have this second Guzma that you're using now that would allow you to play around the Dawnwing's GX attack. So now he's coming to the Lele knockout, which at this point is just... It's definitely still the right play, but it's just like a turn slow for no reason. There's the DCE. All right, we see the DCE from Noel. So he might have this one locked up at this point now. I think he might, because if Dalton was like 1 prize, drawn 1 more prize, here he could hit him with the GX attack from the Dawnwings, and then potentially to close out the game through that, because Noel just doesn't actually have... what's it called anymore? He doesn't actually have Guzma, so he wouldn't be able to get around the GX attack, you know, not allowing, making it so the Dawnwings cannot no longer be hit by damage. Noel wouldn't be able to play around that. So I think we are going to see Noel end up taking this one with that DC pull off the prizes. Once again, I would like to have seen him do it a turn sooner. KO that Lele a turn sooner. You know that's what you have to do, or you should know that's what you have to do, is get that energy out of your prize cards. All right, we see a Guzma here from Dalton. Maybe thinking about chasing down the Macargo. I think I would have liked to have seen Dalton kind of pressure Noel's energy a little bit more, a little bit earlier. Especially after, I mean, you saw Noel ditch 2 energy into the discard pile. Maybe KO the Macargo, the Slugma over the Oranguru. When Dalton chased the Oranguru, I think he probably should have KO'd the Slugma to prevent the Macargo. Because Noel had such a big hand at that point. Oh, wait a second. Guzma up the Macargo. Oh, and then he's going to use the GX attack and he's going to do 60 to everything. Oh, this is actually super cute. I love this play. And you're going to draw 2 prizes. Noel has the Stretcher in the deck. Yeah, this is super cute. I actually really like this play. I didn't even think about this one coming through. Yeah, he draws 2 prizes here. And Noel's actually out of Guzma. So I actually don't think Noel can win. He has the Stretcher for the Natu in the deck, but he has no way to move his active. At all, I don't think. Smooth over. That's right. He's no more Guzma. 2 DCE prize. So there's 2 DCE prizes, 2 energy prize. Yeah. So yeah, so Noel did waste the Guzma there. When he Guzma'd up the Malamar, it was just kind of like really made no sense to Guzma the Malamar there on Noel's side at all. There was like no reason to Guzma the Malamar and KO there. Definitely should have just gone for the Guzma, chase the Lele, and then save the other Guzma just to play around like that situation that came up. Play around that, play around the Dawnwing's GX attacks. There's so many things you can play around at that point. So definitely a mistake there on Noel's side for that. I mean, like I mentioned before, like the Guzma just didn't feel right. So we see the turn 1 let loose again from Noel, leading him into, once again, a dead hand. Last time he top decked out of it. We'll see if he can do it again. An Ultra Ball would be super nice. And it's like an Ultra Ball is okay. On Noel's side, he does play 2 Rescue Stretchers. So like the Rescue Stretchers can come in pretty consistently, pretty clutch. Not such a dead hand here from Dalton, the Ultra Ball, and then the follow-up of the Cynthia. So we should see this probably grab an Inkay. There it is. And then probably Cynthia, we're looking for more Stadium in play. Okay, cool. He always has that turn 1 Stadium. And then we're looking for Inkays. We're looking for Giratina. Set up that Necrozma GX play again. That's actually super cool. I actually, like, I didn't consider that as a play at all. And then it happened and I'm just like, wow, that's actually really cool. Yeah, big fan of the Necrozma play that happened. See the attach to the Inkay. Bench Necrozma GX. So I'm not a big fan of the attach to the Inkay if you're going to bench the Necrozma. May as well just attach to the Necrozma. And there's no reason not to put his Hoppip to sleep. So I would have still liked to have seen him sleep the Hoppip. Okay, we see a top deck here from Noel. He's not quite out of it yet. Got the Elm. I would like to see Hoppip. Oh no, we can get Skiplooms off this. Skiploom, Hoppip. He's going with the Ditto. Oh, I guess that's pretty cute. You can get that into the Macargo. So that gives him another out on the top deck into the Macargo. It looks like the Macargo's in there. So yeah, I like the Ditto grab here then from Noel. Yeah, I always forget you can get the Skiplooms off the Elm. So that's pretty good here from Noel. First Skiploom pops. Gonna see the Jumpluff. And then second one, Jumpluff again. Alright. So decent top deck. It's helping Noel at least set up. Dalton didn't have a ridiculously good turn 1. Once again, no Psychic Energy in the discard pile from Dalton. That's kind of like the big thing here that is just struggling to get going is Psychic Energy in the discard pile. Ditto comes down. It's going to be a retreat to the Marshadow and pass. I actually don't like this play on Noel's side. So a couple things to be aware of. He should know that time is low. As well as Dalton just didn't have a great turn 1. It's actually going to be... it's going to be interesting to see if Dalton can even attack this turn. I think at this point, as Noel, I would like to see him just leave the Jumpluff active and be like, okay, there's a chance Dalton doesn't even KO my Marshadow. So then if I do top deck next turn, like an Ultra Ball into a Rangaroo, another Let Loose, whatever it might be, it's going to be that much harder for him to actually attack and start taking prizes. And even if Dalton knocks you out on the next turn, you're so far behind, you're not going to be able to one-shot this thing anyways. So even if he takes out a Jumpluff, I feel like it's not that big of a deal to lose with how much time is left. Because I feel like at this point, probably either Noel will win or it will be a tie. Okay, he does have 1 second in the discard pile. I don't. Does that change my opinion on that actually? No, I still think I would like to have seen Noel just leave a jump left active, because I think at this point either Noel wins or it's probably going to be a tie with how little time they have left. I mean, if you're not aware of the time, I guess that'll be a factor for Noel's play as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on Dalton's side, and yeah, well, like I said, it looks like he's probably not going to be able to knock out the active. Yeah, he's got nothing going on in the hand. So once again, if Noel does top deck, he's still probably 1 more turn behind, because one extra turn away now from winning the game, because he's just probably not going to be able to move the Marsh Shadow and attack in the same turn. So I would have liked to have seen Noel just leave the jump left active, and being cognizant of time can be that difference maker. So you always want to try and be aware of how much time is left in a round. And I think I mean, it's definitely going to take effect here on the way the play's set up on this one. We see 2 to Lele. I think he might just retreat and punch it for 40. So 2-shotting the Marsh Shadow. That's going to be fine with Noel. Noel's definitely fine with that. Draw here from Noel. Yeah, and there's the top deck, the Lily. 2, 3, 4. Not a great hand either way. He wouldn't have been able to attack off it. So it's probably going to be a pass here from Noel. Which, I mean, it doesn't, like, him having a not so great hand there isn't really that big of a deal. This is actually a huge Guzma here from Dalton, because it means this Lele is probably not going to get knocked out next turn. Noel actually needs quite a bit to actually pull off the knockout now. We'll see if he can get there. Having the hop up would have been a huge difference maker. Yeah, definitely want to see the Trumbeak here, I think. Noel does play Lost Blenders, so if he can find the Lost Blender, he needs 2 more Pokemon. It's definitely very doable. Definitely very possible he gets the knockout here. I don't think it's quite in his favor, but definitely possible he gets the knockout here. And he definitely wants to see that. If he wants the chance to like win this game and close it out, he definitely wants to see the knockout happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's Blender, but only 1 Pokemon. Ah, so close. Oh, let's stretch it for a second one, but he doesn't have any grass energy and doesn't have a Natu. So stretches for the Hoppip. I would like to see him just bench the Hoppip. Waste 2 Hoppips now. Or ditch both Hoppips and dig for the grass. Actually, yeah, at this point, I like that. Ditch both Hoppips. Hope there's a grass energy there. You never know. Not quite. So we're probably just going to see him retreat to let loose Marshadow and pass again. There's no reason to let this jump left get knocked out. I would actually like to see him maybe attach the DCE. Whoa, he's going to pass with the jump left active. So I would have liked to have seen him. I don't like this. I don't like losing the jump left here at this point when you can play around it. I would like to have seen him retreat to the let loose Marshadow and then actually attach a DCE to let loose Marshadow. Because the DCs aren't like a huge factor right now. Don't even have a Natu in play. You have plenty left. Even if you find a Natu. And then dig for the grass next turn. But that way you can retreat the Marshadow and then also attack with the jump left. All right. Well, it looks like there's nothing here going on from Dalton. So we do have a chance to see Noel actually still close one. As he top decks the Natu, attaches DC to it. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the leave the jump left active because it's very possible that it gets knocked out there and then you lose the jump left to be able to attack with. It ends up working out here for Noel though. Treats the Natu and he's gonna get the knockout with Natu here. Got a Natu in hand. Let loose Marshadow in hand. Another DCE. Just take the knockout, I think. You don't need to really dig too much deeper for anything. There's the knockout over to Dalton. Still nothing going on for Dalton. Top deck. Didn't really get him anything. I think he only plays the 1 Tapu Lele. We're going to find out here. I'm sure if he has a second one, he'll grab it here and go for a Wonder Tag. We have 5 minutes left, and Noel has 4 prizes. And like I was saying, like, I don't think Dalton can actually win this game. It would either be Noel wins or it goes into a tie. And that's what we're looking at right here. I think definitely what's about to happen. I mean, Dalton dead drawing definitely doesn't help it. We are going to see the Psychic Recharge, and then that means we're probably going to see a... Oh, he's actually going to go for the knockout. Okay. I thought he might go for the I didn't think he had 2 Psychics in there, so I thought he was going to go with the Hypnosis. But he has the 2 Psychics, so yeah, I may as well get the knockout here. Try and get out of this dead draw. I mean, if the prizes do get low enough... Dalton can pull off the play that we saw him do in game 2, where he just spreads, uses the Necrozma GX attack to just kind of draw a bunch of prizes in one turn. So we could still see that happen, actually, for sure. See the smooth over here from Noel. Looks like he's going to put the Oranguru on top. Set up the smooth over instruct combo. He can easily get the knockout on the active. He has a Natu plus a DCE. We're gonna see him Lost Blender into it here. Goes up to 11. Gets the Oranguru. See Oranguru come down. He might. I think he has Guzma as well, so he might go for the Guzma knockout on the. Yep, there it is. Guzma knockout on the Ultra Necrozma. I don't think I'm a big fan of him doing it with the Natu though, because that keeps his jump bluff in play, and I would have liked to rather seen him pressure with the jump bluff, force this to get knocked out, so Dalton can't play into that play where he can actually spread KO 4 things right now. He can KO the Natu, this Marshadow, get Giratina in the discard pile, KO this jump bluff and this jump bluff. There's actually 4 prizes. Dalton can actually close out the game in 2 turns here. We see him take out the knockout on that. I would have liked to have seen him attack with this jump bluff here and kind of like because he had the netball in hand, so he could have like forced Dalton to like deal with this or like bait him into knocking it out. So there's one less thing in play that can be KO'd through the Necrozma GX attack, and then attack with this jump bluff next, and don't even put this Natu in play ever to play into the Necrozma GX play. But it's still very possible. I think Dalton can pull it off. Actually, I think he has it maybe set up in hand. I think he's just gonna go for the knockout here. He's counting something in Noel's discard pile, checking Noel's discard pile, checking his own. He has the Mysterious Treasure, so that can get him the Necrozma GX. He's gonna attach to Inkay, and it looks like go with the Hypnosis. I'm fine with this here because it is still the 4 prizes in play. Then he switches back. No, the knockout's a little bit better because if you pull a prize card that can help you find what you need. Okay, there's the Lily, so it is possible he can pull it off here. I'm actually super excited to see this happen. He needs to get the Giratina, get it on the bench, or get it in the discard pile, use it, and then there's the netball there from Noah. And that's what I was saying. I would have rather seen him attacked with this jump bluff last turn instead of the Natu. And if the Natu had been and the jump bluff, then there wouldn't even be 4 prizes in play for Dalton to win with. And then he either KOs the jump bluff, which once again, there's not 4 prizes in play for him to win with. So he either KOs the jump bluff or he doesn't. So he either KOs the jump bluff, and then there's only 2 prizes in play for it to be cleaned up with the Necrozma GX attack, or he doesn't, and then there's still only 3, and then Dalton still needs 4 prizes, so he can't win with the Necrozma GX attack. So we see the Let Loose here from Noel. So we'll see if Dalton will be able to get it off the Let Loose. There's the Stretcher for the Necrozma. Just needs to find the Tina and find a way to get in the discard pile. That's what he's looking for here. And the deck does play a lot of Mysterious Treasure, does play a lot of Ultra Ball, so definitely still possible from him. He also needs to find the Metal Energy, which is like kind of the hard thing to find. Retreat to jump bluff, knockout. There's a draw from Dalton. 5 prizes in hand. He did top that Copycat. I think there's an Ultra Necrozma in his hand, maybe not. We see the Stretcher. Looks like he's gonna go for the Lele. I think there is an Ultra Necrozma in his hand, so he already has the Ultra Necrozma. There's the Wonder Tag. Probably gonna see a Cynthia. I can't imagine he'd really get anything else besides a Cynthia. Maybe a Lily if he's at a Cynthia. He's looking. I don't see a Cynthia. There's maybe one. Puts it down again. Looks at his hand. Did he take nothing? It looks like he took nothing. And he's just going to go with the Copycat for 5 or 6. I can't quite tell how many Noella has in hand. Once again, this kind of goes back to if Noella had just like not put that Natu in play, he actually couldn't lose in this scenario. So all Noella had to do was not put the Natu in play. But now if Dalton gets Giratina plus Metal Energy, or gets Giratina, puts it in the discard pile plus Metal Energy, he wins the game. I see Metal Energy, don't see Tina, and I did not see Mysterious. There's a Mysterious Treasure. But that's not going to be able to get Giratina and put it in the discard pile. Discard Psychic Energy. Just checking his deck. I don't know if he really has an out here. I don't think he does. 1 prize left for Noel. Can one-shot anything on Dalton's board. Gets the Giratina. But yeah, once again, no way to discard it. Very close at the end here, though. Dalton almost had it. Since Noel put him in the situation where he could possibly get it. But yeah, that's going to be it. I think we'll see the knockout. He'll have to knock out the active jump bluff here and actually just hope Noel doesn't have an energy at this point. That's going to have to be Dalton's play. I mean, it's still possible Dalton wins. Oh, he's just going to go with the gaze. And then he wakes up. Or is it Hypnotic Gaze? I'm not sure. Yeah, and it looked like, yeah, Noel had the Guzma anyway, so Noel would have been able to close it out even if he had stayed asleep. So yeah, nothing really Dalton could have done different there. He just kind of bricked in the middle of the game. I think Dalton would have just won if he had drawn a little bit more smoothly. It actually seems like this matchup is favored for Dalton. I initially said I think it's favored for Noel. I completely forgot about the combination of Necrozma's GX attack plus Giratina, though. That completely changes the matchup. You can do so much damage to so many Pokemon and just kind of like wipe their board at the end of the game. So actually, that's like a super cool combo that you can pull off with the Necrozma deck. I definitely think this matchup is actually favored for Dalton. But the deck is clunky, and we definitely saw that in almost all 3 of these games. It just set up really awkwardly, really slow, up and down, like nothing really was super smooth. The deck is very powerful on its swing turns with Beast Ring. I didn't see a Beast Ring here from Dalton. I don't know if he plays Beast Ring. He probably does on the swing turns with like Beast Ring or like the GX attack from Dawn Wings. So the deck is very strong when it has those turns, but like getting to those turns is like the hard part with the deck, and it's very clunky and awkward sometimes. So we definitely saw that take effect here. I think once again, over at the end of the game here, at the end of this game with Noel, he could have put himself in a better spot to the point where Dalton maybe couldn't have even pulled off this play. But this is where we ended up. Dalton ended up whiffing, and Noel takes the series 2-1. So that's gonna do it for the first round. I'm VOD reviewing round 5 here at Virginia Regionals. I'll be back with round 6 soon. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my live stream on Twitch. Links for those in the description below. And I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching, guys.